Hey you guys, this is the part 4 of the African Cichlid tank setup. Hope you guys like it. And meet my buddy. His name is Rocky. There are two ways that I know how to rinse the sand. One way is you can use a pair of scissors and you start to poke holes. Poke a lot of small holes. On the backs. And then you cut a big hole on the top of the bag and you start to rinse the sand. You start to fill the bag up with water and the dust will come out from the holes. It will take time to do this. This will take a lot longer to get the sand clean. See how all the dust are coming out? There's another way that I do is I put sand in here in a 5-gallon bucket and I put water in there. I put about half a bucket of water. Then I start to use a stick to stir the sand. And it will be very dirty because inside the sand there will be dust, debris, and all the junks in there. So you need to stir this to get all the dirty stuff out. If you can see, very dirty. So you're gonna have to do that about 6-7 times. I like to do it this way better because I have a control of how much water I put in, and you know all the dust that come out. Make sure you find yourself a comfortable area to sit on and a stick to stir the sand. And this sand is a 10-pound bag, so it's just about the right amount of sand that you can work with it without wearing you out. So you're gonna have to do this for about 6 or 7 times, and the sand will get cleaner and cleaner every time you rinse it like this. But I can promise you that the water will never be 100% clear because this sand is coral sand, and so it's made of calcium basically. So all you can do is you can try your best 6-7 times. That's plenty until you see the water looking clear enough. That's good enough. You can just sit there and stir the sand and replace the water and stir the sand for whole day, and it's still not gonna be clear for you. And basically what you're doing is you're wearing the sand out. So until you lose all the sand, it's still not gonna clear. So this is the hardest part of setting up a fish tank. It takes a lot of elbow grease. But once you get it done, it's gonna be very, very nice. For the holy rock, I'm gonna need help with the power wash. This thing doesn't have enough power. So I'm gonna use the power wash to clean out all the dust and the dirt and all the debris on it. Check it out. Let's continue. You saw me cleaning this rock yesterday. So I have with me a good portion of smaller rock and some big rock. I am going to utilize some smaller rock on the bottom and the big rock on top. So that way the rocks are stabilized. Let's do it. So the idea is to create a lot of cages for the fish to hide, and so I'm not gonna do very solid pile of rock. So I'm gonna create spaces and hole between the rocks. So I'm going to put the smaller but flat rock down on the bottom. That way when the fish sift all the sand out of the base of the rock, the whole pile of rock won't collapse. So I'm creating a solid base for the rock pile using the flat rock. Because you know that African Cichlid are notorious for moving sand around. So this flat rock will do a good job. A lot of my knowledge that I'll be using for this fish tank will come from the saltwater tank that I had before. I had a great knowledge in saltwater. You gotta have a solid base for the rock, otherwise they'll just tumble down and the tank will just be in trouble. And when you set up the rock, make sure that you leave some space on the back so you can clean the glass as well as the front. You see this rock right here? I haven't put the base for it, and I know that the cichlid will sift all this sand out, and this piece will fall out. But since I have two solid base on this side, this rock will be okay. But on top of that, I'm gonna use this smaller rock to kind of support the base of this rock. When you decorate the rock, when you stack the rock, make sure you stay really patient, because they will come together. But be patient. Choose a day, like a weekend or something, when you don't have much things to do, and when your house chore is not awfully ridiculous, and so that you kind of feel kind of free to do all this kind of work. Be relaxed, and one piece at a time, and then you're gonna have to remove it, put it back, take another piece, put it back in. Just keep doing that until it looks good. Once it's done, it's finished. You don't want to redo it. So when you get to a point where you can't seem to stack the rock, or you have some problem with stacking the rock, you just need to stop and drink some coffee and look back and give it a minute, because the faster you go, the worse it gets. So go slow on this. I've done this before, I know. So when you get to halfway, just kind of stop and just enjoy your coffee, and then you go back to it. Well, you guys, I think that will do it for now. I think my big rock sits comfortably on top of this, and there's no movement. So I think I'm happy with this. So the idea is to create a lot of little caves and tunnel and all that for the African cichlids to swim around, and to hide when they get aggressive, the other one get aggressive. So overall, I think I'm okay with this. And the next step is going to be filling in the water. You can see that I didn't use all the rock, because more is not always better. You just want to use enough rock to make sense of the fish tank, and the rest of them will be used for maybe an upgrade later or something. Rocky, it's done. And right now I will add the water, and I will show you how I add the water, okay? This sand, as you can see, in the previous clip, I already washed it. So, but when you add the water, it will be cloudy. So I'll show you how to add the water that make the sand cloudy as minimal as possible. So let's do it. Okay, let's add the water. I'm going to use a big container like this. I'm not going to dump the whole bucket of water in. That way the rock will misplace, and that will stir up the sand, and that will make the water very cloudy. This way, when I pour it in slowly, I will pour it on the rock slowly. I'll pour it on the rock slowly. Until the water goes up to about here, then I'll pour it faster. As you can see, the water level is up high now. I can pour the water in faster, and the sand still doesn't get disturbed. This is just tap water. You can see that the water is not very cloudy because of the way I pour the water. Like I told you earlier. I'm almost there. That's it for the water filling part. The next part will be water treating with the chlorinator, and I will set up the filter for the tank so it gets clear. Now it's time for me to install the equipment. There's one thing that I want to tell you guys. Originally I bought the Aquarion brand filter, but when I opened the box, the material and the feel of the filter, I feel like the Aquarion filter is not as solid as the Marineland. So I ended up getting this filter for the tank. I used this for my saltwater fish tank in the past, and it never failed on me. So I decided to go back to this brand. I decided to go back to exactly the same model and the same brand. So I'm sure this will be the good one for the new tank here. So let's set it up. I got this power center here. This is very cool stuff. This will control all the lighting, all the timing for the light, and extra plugs for the pump, the light, the filter, and everything. This is a must-have for any aquarium. Well guys, I'm done with the setup. The water is still a little cloudy. Not even cloudy, the water is a little unclear right now, but it will take about a day for the filter to settle all the debris, the tiny particle in the water down either into the filter or down on the bottom of the tank. And that completed the setup. I will give you guys an update in about 2 days and see how it looks. I'm gonna bring the camera closer so you guys can have a close-up look at how I set up the rock and the sand and everything else. I use Mac Float to clean the glass, and I had good luck with this brand here for my saltwater tank in the past, so I'm using it again. Check out the back. Did you see that? You see that I left a lot of space on the back because I need to clean the back of the tank, and so that and also for the fish to get room to swim around. Let's check out the hood. So there are 2 doors that open up to the light and the filter. I painted the hood light blue color because this color will reflect a lot of light from the light fixture down into the water. This light, it has a 10,000K daylight and a blue light. Let's take a real quick look at it. The filter is running pretty good. It's got 2 bio wheels. It will clear up the water really quickly. Okay, let's take a look at the stand. The stand has 2 doors. This is the 10-gallon tank that I got for a hospital tank, a backup tank. And again, I painted the stand blue, light blue, and I will have a small light in here to reflect the light into the hospital tank. And this is for storage. So that's it, guys. That wraps up the part 4 of the African Cichlid tank setup. And hope you guys enjoy it, and make sure you guys follow me for the part 5 when I get new fish in there. That will be exciting. So until next time, peace.